Gone.
You're not supposed to start talking before I've turned the captions on.
Well, how do I know you've turned the captions on?
By just checking the caption thing.
I just say things at random.
Uh-huh. I know you do.
You're not going anywhere, I hope. Hello, medic.
We're going to day 3. That's where we're going. How are you, Malik? Happy Thursday over there.
Happy Thursday, almost noon.
Uh-huh. Happy decently into Thursday, I guess.
Or happy just waking up from on Thursday.
Or just waking up on Thursday.
Yay! Now having work.
Yay.
Plus, it's raining. Hey, I like rain. It's supposed to. There's supposed to be a really big storm here Saturday.
Hmm.
Oh, jeez, Louise.
Hmm.
Forgot I started that.
What?
So Twitch has been stupid lately.
Hmm.
And so I can't download 3 VODs at the same time anymore, because the way that it now works for some strange reason is when you hit the download button, once it's done like preparing, it opens it up so that you can then download it. When it opens it, it autoplays. Guess what just popped up?
A VOD?
Yes. And so the music just started going, and I'm like, what the crap happened? What
Well, I guess it's a good thing that you're not the one hosting.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't be doing this, like, if I was hosting.
Uh-huh.
I would give myself and the audience a heart attack.
Uh-huh.
And I don't want to give people heart attacks. That's not
You
good.
shouldn't. Who are you? Like, Yagami Light? The 3rd day of the conference begins. You know, speaking of villains. The reception hall seems to be empty. Everyone must be enjoying the conference instead of hanging out in the lobby.
Gosh dang it, Satan.
Yeah?
I'm gonna choke.
Don't choke.
Well, stop making me laugh while I'm eating ice cream.
That sounds like a you problem. Just like don't choke on ice cream that melts.
Well, if it goes down the wrong tube.
Yeah, don't do that.
Well, stop making me laugh while I'm eating.
You're the one eating during stream right now.
Says the person who eats almost every Sunday stream?
Yes. Well, if I can either eat during the stream or make our stream very, very late. It's one or the other.
There's a stream child in chat.
There is. And you said Magic wasn't here.
Because when I said that, Magic wasn't here.
Because we weren't live yet.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be impressed if Magic was here before we even went live. Hello, child.
It doesn't make my statement false.
Apparently it does. I'm always here, Sharky.
Now that's a bold-faced lie, child.
Alright, who can we talk to for free? Hello.
There's been quite a few streams you haven't been here at.
What do we
Not
get
to-
her?
Not to say, red wine.
Red wine?
Not to say that.
Just putting away dinner leftovers.
Okay, but.
What was for dinner? I'm having dinner. Or I'm having leftovers for dinner today. I was just like, what's your food? Food's great. You bring back a glass of fancy red wine. Lady Massard picks it up and swirls the wine around. Thank you. This really compliments my outfit.
I get it right on the first try?
Tortellini with turkey sausage and spinach and red sauce. That sounds good. I like a lot of things. But yes, this is one of them. Well done. Yes?
I don't think it was last Thursday, maybe. I was like, oh, I'm gonna go like grab a drink or something like that. Like, oh, Malik, it's like one for you. Like, you should go like eat. And then like Malik's like, okay, and then like started making cookies. And I'm like, oh, what cookies are you making?
Yeah, that's what I would do. Cookies? Delicious. I want to make cookies. Actually, you know what I need to do that I haven't done in like quite a while is make bread.
I was about to say, is it make bread?
Yeah. Well, because I have fresh rosemary in the fridge. And so it'd be nice to make fresh rosemary bread.
Again, we've known each other for so long.
Yeah. I've had the cookie mix for a while, just finally did it. They didn't last long. I think I have cookie mix in the freezer, but I also have like, well, we blitzed apart a gingerbread house on like Christmas.
Yeah.
But I've been trying to figure out uses for all the crumbs. Because just, you know, the gingerbread house just was a shitty cookie. So, like, we don't want to eat it. And we didn't want to bother decorating those and stuff. So, we blitzed half the house, roughly, into crumbs. And, yeah, so I was going to use it for crust for, like, a pie. But then I was like, actually, I don't really want a pie. So I made gingerbread milkshakes with some of it. And yesterday I actually added some of it to help thicken my Japanese curry, which turned out pretty well. That worked out pretty well. I guess because, you know, gingerbread has a bunch of the spices that could go into it anyway. And then also being crumbs helped thicken it well. So, yeah. And because Japanese curry is kind of sweet, so it works out. But I'm like, wow, I still have so much. I've been trying some different recipes.
So I felt like last year I just repeated the same 6 things. So we made a nice potato curry.
Yum. That sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I have the benefit of not being in school anymore. Because I feel like in school, like when I was a student, I just never had time to cook.
You never had time to breathe.
I breathed. Technically.
Oh, because you were like, yeah, so my schedule is busy for the next century.
It was like, all right, let's hang out. I have time 3 weeks from now. Yeah, there was a guy that tried hitting on me way, like, back during those times. And he was like, let's hang out this weekend. And I was like, I don't have time this weekend. I'm fully booked. Let's hang out the next weekend then. I'm also fully booked the next weekend. And I think he thought that I just, like, was making excuses not to go. But no, and I mean, I'm fine not going on dates with that guy. But, you know, I was like, you know, I actually really didn't,
Wait, don't see you for dinner today?
Oh no! No, you have to at least put cheese in it so that you can call it a quesadilla.
Exactly.
You know, plain tortilla is just plain tortilla. But if you put shredded cheese in the tortilla, suddenly it's a quesadilla, and that's okay. But, yeah, that guy just, like, thought I was trying to blow him off or avoid going on dates or anything. He completely stopped, like, trying or talking to me, really. And I was like, well, that's fine. You know, if you're upset that I can't squeeze you into my schedule, like, on out dates, then sorry. You want to hang out with me, you kind of gotta come to my events. I ended up dragging my ex to so many events because I was just like, I have this, and then I have this, and I have this. Do you want to come?
Oh. Yeah.
And I think he also burned out. He was like, no, I need a break. That weekend's all you. I was like, okay, bye.
Anybody would burn out. The fact that you didn't is like...
You can't burn out if you're still on fire. Sharky's not responding.
I don't know how to respond to that. I don't know how to respond.
She seems genuinely pleased. You catch yourself wondering how you could get more of her approval. Whoa there.
One roommate said I scared the
shit out of her when she returned from her work-study job at 2:30 a.m. She worked as a dispatch for campus safety.
Ooh.
To see me just hunched on the floor in our apartment's common space, lit only by my laptop screen with a tortilla hanging from my mouth.
That sounds amazing, and being like, sup.
You know, how else is it supposed to work when you're in college? Clearly, this is how college life goes. Right?
That was not my college experience.
You didn't live in, like, dorms,
I didn't live in the
though.
dorms, either.
You didn't have, like, roommates that you were living with.
Yeah, I was living with my bad family.
Mm-hmm.
Which is probably a worse college experience.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I didn't have that much time to hang out with my roommates, but I had one pretty good roommate for 4 of 5 years, so, you know. And the 5th year, it was just because she graduated ahead of me. She said,
your head's... Look at Anal Con headlights.
Damn near thought I'd see an eye reflection. Excellent. Good.
Magic. Steve Childs, I love you. Oh my gosh.
What do we have for breakfast?
Muffins and Alice.
Did we have muffins last time? Oh, okay. Working on a lab report, so like that's just how it be. Yeah.
I mean that's fair. There was many sleepless nights.
Yeah.
Or turning things at like 5 a.m. I'm like, it's 5 a.m. I can't work on this anymore because if I do, I might snap somebody in half.
I remember the times that I worked till like 5 a.m. and then I had work at 7:30, so I would get like 2 hours of sleep.
Oh, I hate that.
Yeah.
Because I had to be on a train at 7 a.m.
Uh-huh.
So I would be up, and then I'd have to be on a train at 7 for like 40 minutes.
I mean, mine
so
was
bad.
just because I purposely left so many slots in my schedule open for my part-time job to give me afternoon and evening shifts.
And they never gave you afternoon or evening shifts.
Because my shitty ex was not supposed to be ever talking to me, according to campus safety. And therefore, my manager was like, well, I'm scared that he's going to go on a rampage, so I'll just give him all the nice shifts, so you're stuck with the mornings.
Punishing you.
Damn cowardly ass.
Wait,
anyway.
Were you calling the manager that, or were you reading something? I said, were you calling the manager that, or?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I mean, he is.
I'm also still forever disturbed that, you know, he's like 30-something-year-old with 2 kids and would look out his window and apparently talk to the other guys that worked there about how hot the girls were on the college campus. Oh, you never heard about that?
No.
Or actually, I guess, because you mostly worked with our other friend who's gay. So he probably wouldn't have said that to our other friend. Yeah,
well, I also
he used
worked
to talk
with the
about
other
that.
person Friday nights when nobody was there.
Which other person?
The weekend person that everyone loves?
Well, he also didn't work with the manager that much because
Yeah, exactly.
Weekends. Yeah.
Gross.
Yeah. He never did anything, like, untoward towards me, right? He just, like, didn't really talk to me. But, yeah, I heard from some of the other guys. Because somehow, like, the guys there would just forget that I was a girl, I guess. Like, I
Right, you have
in that way that I, like, I obviously present very femme, but, like, I think a lot of guys just feel comfortable that I'm, like, not like a girl, I guess. Before I realized anything about my gender. So, like, they would just... Like, one guy talked about another gay guy who worked with us, and he was like, yeah, he hates women. It's so funny, ha ha ha. And I'm just standing there like...
What?
Okay.
What?
Yep. And he was laughing about this to me. It was directed at me, like, yeah, he hates women. It's hilarious. And I just sat there like... I don't know why you're telling me this. Hi, what do I look like? Yeah. Yeah, and I think I don't know. A lot of times I get invited to hang out with the guys more than they invite some of the other girls for stuff, so I think that's another case if people realized my gender before I did. They just didn't realize that they realized, but yeah. Yeah, so some of those guys were a bit more buddy-buddy with the manager. And yeah, apparently he would be checking out girls coming out of the armory or something sometimes. You know, the college-aged girls. I was just like... Yikes! Because he had, like, a good view from his window, and I was just like, this is very disturbing.
Thanks, I hate it.
Hey, sorry to tell you things about your old boss that you apparently didn't know. I didn't realize you didn't know that. Sorry?
Well, I mean, by the time I joined, all of those people left. Mm-hmm. So, like, the people I was around didn't talk to him because by the time I joined, he was not interacting.
True.
To the point where people, full-time employees, would come up to me and be like, so you're the manager, right? Can you fix this? Because this is terrible. And I'm like, I'm a part-time employee, excuse me? And they're like, no, you're the manager. Like, everyone knows you're the manager. I'm like, excuse me?
Everyone knows you're the one to go to, I guess.
Well, but they specifically said, you're the manager.
Yeah, but I'm saying that they assumed that because you were the one to go to. Anyway. What's our complaint about the room? We know the yellow leaves is not the answer.
I've gotten a message. The kitties are so friendly. They're not skittish at all. They purr and try to climb into your arms. They are so good.
Oh, baby.
I have gotten that message.
Kitty babies.
I don't know, chairs. Mm-hmm. The way they have chairs all over the place, I can find now.
Chairs? Now that you mention it. Yes, the VIP lounge would greatly benefit from a smaller amount of seating. Less upstarts to worry about. Good eye, Villain Sharky.
So what do you have on the list?
Oh, it's a long list. Take these wine glasses.
There's a pet adoption this weekend. I want to go see the kitties.
Hey, kitties.
Ooh. Yeah, go see those kitties.
You look at your glass. You squint. Lay him aside sighs.
It's obvious that they've been used
right.
many times before. Look at all the scratches on them.
Squinting harder, you can make out a few hair-thin marks on the foot of the glass. What's the question? Social media.
Social media can cause a revolution.
Sure.
You're right, I guess. Makes it a lot harder to suppress information. It's too bad. I would have loved to have you on Instagram.
Oh, I do have an account there.
I think this is about falling back.
Yeah, we stayed quiet last time. Maybe you were just as eager to follow me as I was to follow you?
Oh my.
Oh my, you're the one of those people, are you? Do also take it as a go-ahead sign when a colleague invites you to a networking event.
Okay, bye. Yeah, we have a text.
It is!
Recon is now halfway through. Now's a good time to start creating deeper connections if you haven't already. It's a great idea to talk to many people, but you only have 2 days left, so make sure you're putting effort into the relationships that matter to you most.
Wait, relationships matter?
We have a text from Nova.
I have a riddle for you. What letters follow this sequence? OTTFFSS.
Great music in the middle. Or in the meantime.
Do you know?
I don't know. Do you want to Google it?
No, I just want to randomly guess. I'm gonna randomly guess the middle option.
That's the only one that I'm like, really? I don't know.
No, it's probably not. It's more than likely probably like the bottom one, but
Alright, let's find out. But first I want to actually Google this first. Oh. You know what?
what? Ah! I was right! It's just the first letters of numbers, right? Oh!
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
4,
6,
5,
7.
6.
So
Yes.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Aha! I was right the first time!
Wow. Good job.
That's right! Maybe you aren't as dumb as the rest of your species.
Congratulations, you did in fact randomly guess it.
I was like, I'm not gonna look this up. So I'm just gonna see I'm just gonna see what works.
Oh no.
And
It me and I'm angry.
please don't hurt me! Thank you, my child. Do I have the ability to get angry?
I don't know. Do you? You tell me.
Have you ever seen me get angry?
No, but I've heard you talk about being angry, and I've heard you talk about how you make a purposeful effort not to get angry. So that implies an ability to get angry.
I mean, I literally have family with anger management problems, so...
Yeah.
Hence why I don't want to get angry and go off the rails.
Yeah. So it sounds like you have the ability to get angry.
I'm not
you
sure I
just
can
choose
picture
not
an
to.
angry Sharky, though. I'm sure it's a sight to behold.
I'm sure it is. I have yet to behold it.
My roommate hasn't either.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, guess my chances are pretty low then. Unless I try really hard to piss you off. I mean, I could probably if I tried, but I don't know. It sounds like a lot of effort. I don't know what the reward would be. I don't know if that's worth it.
I love how you're just like, oh, crap. That lowers my chances significantly.
You've
Even
increased the
your job-
difficulty level.
Even at your job, I imagine you get more tired/frustrated than angry. Yeah.
I mean, I know how to make you angry. It just, is it worth it? Probably not at that point.
How do you make me angry?
By calling you by your middle name.
That will be a mixed bag of emotions.
Like, if I actually wanted you to get angry at me for some reason, I suppose that'd be the way, right? But, I don't think that's worth it.
I might actually stop talking to you.
Yeah. See,
Like, legitimately.
I don't think that's worth it. I don't think it's worth sacrificing the stream. The survival of the stream.
I love
for
how
the
it's
sake
not-
of seeing you mad.
Not our friendship, not this, not that. No, it's a stream.
Well, Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Look, I'm not worried about the friendship piece.
Wow. I'm hurt.
Yeah? Why?
Yeah. Not worried about the friendship.
Do you expect anything different from me?
Doesn't mean I can't be hurt.
Well, at that point, you're choosing to be hurt. I don't know.
Well, yes, I am choosing to be hurt. Thank you for
Choose
noticing.
not to be hurt. It's fine.
I don't think that's how it's gonna work here.
No?
No.
Why not?
Why am I laughing?
Because you think it's funny that I don't care? Or that I'm not worried about the friendship piece? Not that I don't care about it. I'm just not worried about it.
I need to stop laughing.
See, you're hurt in theory, but in practice, you're laughing.
We're just talking about how, like, if you call me by one name, our entire friendship will end, and then there's me just laughing, and Chad's just like, Parents, are you okay?
We're
Don't
never
break up.
okay. Come on, we've been over this.
I guess because I'm laughing, I have to laugh.
It's fine. It's just that psychotic laughter that comes before a murder. The fun kind, you know? Well, I guess we have to laugh.
That's what I said 5 minutes ago.
Uh-huh.
So why don't you continue?
I don't know. Because I didn't.
Why am I friends with you?
Because I don't call you by your middle name?
Wow. A low
Is
bar.
that how it works? I don't know.
A low bar to jump over.
Okay, because I don't call you by your first name.
I have a bunch of friends who call me by my first name.
Your full first name?
Oh, not my full for heck no.
And
No,
like
no, no,
that's
no.
the other name to make you mad, as I know from your ranting about your coworker who did it. As I said, I know how to make you mad. I just, I don't think it's worth it.
There's only one person who's allowed to call me by my first name. It's my roommate. I've given her the pass.
The full first name?
The full first name. Which even she doesn't call me by my, even by my, what most people call me. She stopped calling me that. After I'm like, I really don't like it. Like, I should find something else. She just started calling me roommate until I decided.
Yeah? And you've decided on?
I haven't decided on one. I keep forgetting to look. I don't know, maybe I should just be Sharky.
I think you should. Sounds great. Sounds perfect.
I remember talking to my therapist about it, and she's just like, I don't want to call you Sharky. But obviously, if that's what you decide on and everything, that's fine, and I'll do it. It's just... I'm just gonna keep calling you until you decide. Is that okay? I'm like, yeah, that's fine. Whoops.
What's that, Steve?
I don't know. Steve?
You're gonna keep getting called Steve, Steve?
I'll be calling Steve.
Mm-hmm. Rather than Steven.
Ugh, that sounds terrible.
Yeah. You hate your full name.
Steve-ifer?
Steve-cifer?
Steve-cifer?
I was trying to figure out how to turn that to Lucifer, but I suppose I'm the Lucifer here, actually, so...
Steve-cifer. Okay, but Steven or Steven?
Or Stefan?
No. It's it's Steven, but there's a random I was going to pick a letter, and then I realized in my brain every letter I thought of, I'm like, that doesn't work. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. Stefano!
That just makes me think of Susano.
I think we have our winner.
Hmm?
Oh my gosh. Look, I'll figure out what my name should be at some point. If I remember to look. I also don't know
Fine.
what kind
Half my friends just call me by my first initial now.
The thing is, I'm used to Sharky now.
Yep.
Because
I'm so
at my
proud.
because at the last place I lived at, literally everyone was just like, no, your name's Sharky, right? And I'm like, yeah, my name's Sharky, uh-huh.
Yeah. Isn't
And
it?
every time I got introduced, it's, oh, and this is Sharky. And I'm like, uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. It is.
It was hilarious at my last job when they're like, is Steve here? And people were like, who's Steve? Oh, you mean Sharky. What's the question?
That's a great question. What is the question? Did you get any rest? This is your answer.
No.
I'm like, wait, I already know your answer to that.
But also imagine if my name wasn't Sharky anymore. What if I just changed my on-stream name?
Your on-stream name?
Then you're paying me back for the assets we've already bought.
Oh, that's true. That's a lot of money.
If you changed your on-stream name, then you owe me the money for all the assets we commissioned of you as a shark. That I paid for. Not the ones you paid for, because you paid for those.
Oh, I paid for a lot.
You've paid for quite a bit, considering you also have the Professor Sharky channel.
Oh, I shall change my on-stream name to Sharkathan.
You know, all the assets will still say Sharky, though, at that point. We could call you Sharkathan. I just, you know...
Sharkathan Jones?
I'm not paying for new assets. For all I know, like, I don't know if Twitter just has a limited time on how long it keeps DMs, but, like, I don't know where all of our old DMs for our commissioning went. They've disappeared. And I'm just like, huh, where'd they go?
Is there like a time limit?
Hmm?
Is there like a time limit on them?
That's what I was saying, is I don't know if there's some kind of time limit, but I guess there's some kind of time limit of how long Twitter keeps them. Because, yeah, they're
Like
gone.
I'm seeing a bunch of like, oh, you can only send out this many DMs a day. And I'm like, that's a lot of DMs a day.
Yeah. Well, I guess if they mean in the sense of, like, chatting, that people hit rate limiting,
Yeah, so...
if people use Twitter as, like, a DMing platform to
Yeah.
just, like, chat, I could see people
So-
running into limits.
Well, so apparently it's 1,000 DMs a day, 2,400 tweets a day, and there's a technical follow limit of 400 per day.
Yeah, it's anti-spam measures.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not surprising in that sense. But I want to... The question here is not about rate limiting. It's about how
Yeah.
long a message history sticks around.
Yeah, I'm seeing stuff that's like, oh, they store them for years. But I don't know.
Well, mine disappeared, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think I deleted them, but
I wouldn't imagine you would delete them.
for how much of a hoarder I am, not a chance.
I mean, even I wouldn't have deleted them.
Yeah. Which I can probably go back and find the artists again, but, like, I'd have to look, is the thing. Because, yeah, I don't know.
It'd be that in a single conversation, we can only hold so many messages. They're multiple different people.
Yeah. It was just when we did the whole art reveal, when we did our whole rebrand and whatever last year, or last year's Ace Week. When we got the icons and stuff, and the emotes.
I'm seeing... two of them. Icon and banner.
Oh. Are they still there?
Yeah, I'm seeing them.
I don't know. The last time I checked, I thought they had disappeared, but maybe it was just the platformer. I don't know. Maybe they just didn't load on mine?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe. Were you using the app?
I'm trying to remember. I don't think I was, but I could be misremembering. Anyway.
Yeah, I'm only seeing the two, though. I'm only seeing the icon in the banner. I'm not seeing the, emotes. Yeah, I'm not seeing the emotes one.
Yeah.
That's the only one that I'm like, I'm not seeing that. That's weird. Or then maybe they delete the conversation. Yeah, it could have been the emo person deleting the conversation.
Maybe that's it.
Anyway, not nearly enough. I couldn't fall asleep after the party. Kept thinking about random stuff all night. Stuff, shenanigans.
Especially the dance moves of a certain vampire you got to witness on the dance floor, even though we were definitely not paying any attention to him because we were busy talking to Nova.
You got a taste of what what nights feel like when one is a vampire. What? You miss sleeping. Oh, I miss dreaming. Oh, how I wish I still had the chance of embarking on an extraordinary journey every single night. Look, it's not that good. The last dream I sent Satan is a good telling of why that's not a good thing.
I mean, it was just like a very strange dream more than anything.
Yeah, it flippin' was. And probably meant a thing or two about my life. And about my subconscious trying to get worked through some crazy things. You realize you could do that every night since you're, awake anyway. Without leaving my bed. Because my bed is the best place to lay at night. Okay, fair enough. You gotta make your adventures happen in reality now.
You can't say that in a dating sim or they'll ask if it's an invitation.
It's never an invitation.
It's an invitation only to my cats. They can lay with me in bed at night.
As far as extraordinary journeys go, skip button. Oh, top answer. You don't strike me as much of a cuddler. I may be out of practice. Besides, it is awkward to simply lie down next to a sleeping entity for 8 hours, trying not to move too much so that they stay asleep. You know what they say, practice makes perfect.
Not that you have some hidden agenda. You certainly don't find yourself imagining how comfortable sleeping in a coffin might be. You don't? Wait. What
I wouldn't want to sleep in a coffin.
What if I slept in a coffin, but just like Felix wasn't in it?
I don't think I would enjoy sleeping in a coffin.
Well, you see, you can't die.
I wouldn't be sleeping!
It's called the eternal sleep.
I wish us the devil way.
Yeah?
How much do you weigh?
That's not a very polite question.
Pentagram!
Dot, dot. A symbol to ward off evil. Always fact check before embarrassing yourself, Villain Sharky.
Hey! I don't know how to answer this.
We're gonna take evil to be trolly.
I didn't use Jigglypuff once!
Yesterday.
Yesterday!
What was the question?
I-
here?
I didn't use sleep to kill you guys once yesterday! Call me a troll. I don't live under a bridge.
You make enough jokes about going to live in a ditch that, you know, I feel like it's close enough.
I hope y'all are enjoying this mess of a
It's
stream.
trollist to assume that all trolls must live under bridges.
I hope y'all are enjoying the stream. This is a mess of a stream.
We're like an hour in, we haven't gotten through the first hour yet.
Mm-hmm.
So, possession.
Is 9/10 of the law?
They both said always enjoy the streams. Thanks.
Do you two have one brain cell?
You're curious what possession feels like, yeah?
No.
What she said? Stay away from me?
I don't want to be possessed.
Then stay away from me? Or what would it feel like?
I don't want to be possessed. Okay, so I'm going to need you to keep your distance from me. Thanks!
Satan rolls his eyes. Bold of you to assume I have any brain cells. I
You're getting
mean,
your pee.
I think
you're
you
getting-
have a lot of brain cells for science. They might be in a
you're getting-
petri dish instead of in your head, but you know, you have a lot of brain cells.
You're getting a PhD. You have brain cells.
Those brain cells do actual productive things.
Unlike my brain cells. My brain cells go Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, relax. If I, for some reason, were to possess someone at a conference filled with powerful villains, you wouldn't be my first choice.
I'm controlled by a rat, like Ratatouille.
I need to see that movie still.
You should watch it. It's a good movie.
So my roommate again said that I'm an android from space because of my lack of movie knowledge.
You know, I think Sharky could be a person controlled by a shark. Ratatouille style. Like a teeny tiny shark under a hat.
The best thing Pixar has made? Hold up. Hold up.
Encanto exists. And Luca exists. And both of those movies made me cry.
Ratatouille is the best thing Pixar
I mean, it is a good
made?
movie. You should watch it.
I mean, that's fair.
The
that it's a
best
good movie,
thing
actually.
Pixar has made is a bold claim, but you know, it's fine.
Is Encanto Pixar? I don't think it is.
Oh, is it not? I thought it was done in the
Luca-
Pixar style.
Luca is. Let me check.
And it's on Disney,
No.
so
No, it's just Disney.
it's not?
No, it's just straight Disney. It's not Pixar.
Oh. But it has that Pixar style.
Yeah, it has the Pixar style, but it's not Pixar.
Okay, fine.
So,
But
Soul and
Luca.
Soul and Luca are the two newest.
Wait, which is the other?
Soul.
Soul. Yes, Soul's also really good.
Soul's really
And
good.
Onward.
I haven't seen
feel
Onward.
like in recent years, I don't know if it's just that as I get older, I just cry at every movie.
Yeah, Disney owns Pixar.
But
that
like
is
every one of the recent Pixar movies, and I guess plus Encanto, have made me like sob. They're all
Yeah,
so good.
Their newest 4 movies were Toy Story 4, Onward, Soul, and Luca. Which I haven't seen Toy Story 4 either.
But you played.
Oh, and then they have the one coming out soon called Turning Red.
Turning Red?
Yeah.
I haven't been keeping up.
It is a set in Toronto, Chinese Canadian 13-year-old who
well, I guess now I need to watch it.
Who whenever she gets too excited or stressed, she poofs into a giant red panda.
Well, now I need to watch it just for representation.
Yeah.
But also because it'll probably be really good.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw some things. I'm like, okay, this looks good. But yeah, that comes out in March.
I'm like, I need to beg everyone, but in the most non-beggy, just fucking do it way. Everyone who is not Asian, please still watch Asian stories.
I do like Pixar movies, but I'm also a big fan of Cartoon Saloon. What's Cartoon Saloon?
What?
An Irish animation studio.
Oh, yeah?
I don't know any of these. Oh? Some short films.
Encanto is a great movie about generational trauma.
Uh-huh.
We've done a lot of movies based on Irish folklore. Ooh.
Yeah.
That's cool.
There's 4 movies. Sadly, one of them's Apple TV. And I'm like, ugh.
Apple TV is like the one streaming service that I do not have and would never get.
No, so, I was talking to my roommate, because there was one that, she told me about that's like, it's called like, Severance, and it's basically like, a company that they work at where when they go into work, they lose all their memories about outside of work, and once they leave work, they lose all their memories about what happens in work. And
So
like,
Apple?
They willingly agreed. What?
So what Apple wishes they could do?
Yeah, basically. And then it starts spiraling out of control. She's like, I can't watch this, and I'm like, if it wasn't the Apple thing, I would totally watch this just as like a background thing. But it's Apple, and I'm not doing that.
There's a couple of shows that are Apple TV only that I'm just like, this sounds interesting, or I have some reason to be interested in it. But you're on Apple TV only, so fuck you.
Yeah. They also did adapt for The Breadwinner, which is about a young girl whose father is arrested by the Taliban, so she starts dressing as a boy so the family can get food and tries to free her dad.
Oh.
Ooh.
I'm gonna laugh if we reach the end of the stream and we've gotten through 0 hours.
No, we'll get through 2 hours again.
It's 2 hours or a day and a half. There is no in between.
Uh-huh. Look, we know how this works.
Uh-huh.
There's so many movies that I need to... Apparently, Cartoon Saloon is getting a television series this year on Disney Plus.
Also not Pixar, but I just remembered Brother Bear. Oh, yes.
I've not seen Brother Bear. Is that DreamWorks?
I wanna say so? I mean, at least you'll get through 2 hours in real life. Yes, we
Rick
will do that,
Moranis
Malik.
is in Brother Bear?
Huh?
Wait, Rick Moranis is in Brother Bear?
Who's that again?
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. The father in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. One of the Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters!
Was what's the best friend's name in Flintstones?
Barney?
He's Barney in the live action Flintstones movie.
There's a live action Flintstones movie?
What?
I'm like, wait, there's a live action Flintstones
There's
movie?
two.
There's two?
Yeah, they were both released in 1994.
Oh, when I was 2.
Yeah. But in the late 90s, he completely stopped acting because his wife died, and he's like, I need to take care of my kids. I can't act. I want to be there for my kids. And I guess over the years he's done some small things here and there, but the big thing was recently there's a new Honey, I Shrunk the Kids movie come back, and he's coming back for it. And everyone's like, holy crap, he's coming back after so long.
Whoa.
It's like Brendan Fraser. Brendan Fraser was everywhere and then stopped for very good reasons. It's now slowly coming back.
I also forget who that is.
The Mummy movies.
I feel like I've seen the name and the story of this on Tumblr, but like I just forget.
George of the Jungle. George of the Jungle was so good. What other movies were Brendan Fraser in?
Your line?
What? Good to know. Good to know. Good to know. Good to know. Apparently was in the Inkheart movie in 2008.
Oh, hey! I went to the talk spot, and Nova happened to be there. See Nova sitting in one of the chairs. The doctor's nowhere to be seen.
The Mummy is so good. The Mummy 2 is the first movie The Rock was in.
Oh.
Yeah. He played the villain in Mummy 2. That didn't show up until, or a villain in the Mummy 2, I should say. I think Paul Bettany was in it too. Let me see. Don't think so. Yeah. No, Paul Bettany was not. When did The Mummy come out? That was 99.
I'm just like, okay.
Hello,
No clue.
Village Sharky. Sorry. Hi, Nova. I had a feeling you might be here. I feel a connection to other Doomsday devices. Other? Don't think about it too hard. Your organic brain might not be suited to process this information.
Well, we know she can turn into a super cannon thing, so.
That's true.
And Bettany was in Inkheart, not the Mummy.
Yes, Bettany was in Inkheart. Which came out the same year as Iron Man. Ugh.
Death. My favorite session.
Taxes?
No, just death.
I don't know anything about Inkheart other than it's a movie and a book, and my roommate really loves the book.
I feel like that's a book that I wanted to read as a kid and then I never did. And now there's a lot of books that I want to read.
So many books.
And they forever sit on my want to read list.
I was today being like, did this person ever finish writing the series that I started reading forever ago? That's like a 50-book series. And there was like, yeah, the final chronological book came out. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. I should probably read through that series again. How many of them do I own? Oh, crap. I only own like 12 of them. Crap.
A 50-book series.
No, the person has literally been writing it since the mid-70s.
Yeah. I'm more saying that in the sense of like, that's the
And
kind of thing I'm like, nope, I'm not starting now.
And each of them are like 400 pages.
Jeez.
It's this whole like fantasy world, and it has like this entire crazy history, and then at one point you find out that no, this is actually like a post-apocalyptic world where like we just all want launch nukes at each other, and like all the fantasy races are just irradiated humans. Except for the elves. The elves always existed.
Okay,
You're just like, what is going on? I love the trilogy as a kid, though. I remember trying to read it in German class. That sounds like a complex. Oh, jeez. I love it, though. It's so great. It just messes with your mind. Especially when it gets to the part where, okay, now we're traveling to the demon realm, and you're like, wait, there's demons? Oh, right, there's demons.
There's demons?
Yeah, the demons got locked in their own separate reality.
Oh.
And in some of the books, and they're held... So, it actually was a TV show. The TV show sucked. I don't recommend watching it. The TV show was called, was it... The Shannara Chronicles. Don't watch it. It
There's
sucks.
also a book series that I need to get through the last book of the series.
What?
I think that author has actually already gone on to another series now.
What book?
They're only sort of loosely a series, but it's books about crime and trauma.
Ah!
Lots of crime and trauma, murder and trauma, serial killers and other stuff.
Did you ever have a TV show you watched as a kid that it felt like you dreamed it / were the only person watching it?
Oh, magic. There used to be, because my parents are Chinese, right? So we had, a bunch of Chinese channels.
Yep.
And I guess bundled in there was this random international channel. And it wasn't, only one language. It would go through a bunch of different things, I think. But there was, a show I would catch, I think it was, Sundays right before roughly my shower time that was, some anime that I think I was definitely too young to be watching. And I don't know the name of it anymore. But I remember watching it. And now I'm like, well, I know I did it, but I don't know what the show was.
The show that I watched, I felt like I was the only person who watched it. Probably. But I can't think of any off the top of my head. Because a lot of the shows I watch that I can obviously remember are shows I can be like, oh, did you watch this? And so I'll be like, oh, no, I didn't watch that one. Or, oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing about the international channels. Only so many people had that channel in the first place. So, of course, no one else knows what the fuck I'm talking about.
I remember, and it's not something that's like, oh, I'm the only person who watches that. I just remember, I don't know where I was, but I stumbled across, I think it was, I don't know what language it was, but I stumbled upon a foreign language version of a Dragon Ball Z movie I hadn't watched yet. And I'm like, oh, cool, it's Dragon Ball Z, blah, blah. And I'm like, wait, what's going on? Oh, okay, I'm changing the channel now. I can't watch this. I don't know what's happening.
One season cartoon adaptation of the Silverwing novel. Right, you talked about that novel before.
Oh, man. I feel like... I feel like when I was younger, there were definitely episodes of shows that I feel like either were a fever dream or I saw and everybody who I talked to was like, what are you talking about? That never happened. And I'm like, no, I saw this episode. But I can't remember. Man, my mind sucks. Leave her alone. Yeah.
What did you say to me? Weird yet engaging novel for a child. However, whoever did the character designs for the show was definitely a furry. Oh man, my friend was telling me yesterday about, like, I guess some furry was like equating being a furry to like LGBTQ, which first of all is like, okay, but her partner is trans, and so they apparently claim to feel like an affinity to her partner for being trans because they are furries. And I'm like, okay.
I love a good fever dream episode. Thought my brain made up an episode of Phineas and Ferb until I saw it 2 years later. Every episode of Phineas and Ferb is a fever dream episode. Because we are all Candace. But yeah, no, that's a thing they said. I don't know how to respond to that.
I was like, you know, of course, if the partner's fine with it, she can make that decision for herself. But from what it sounded like, it sounds uncomfortable.
Yeah.
She's also kind of shy about things, so I also am like, oh no, I hope that if they are making her uncomfortable with that kind of comparison, that she doesn't feel like too uncomfortable to push back on it. I also was super sleepy as a kid watching Avatar late at night and thought I dreamed the owl spirit guy in the library episode. I never watched Avatar until like a year ago or something.
Oh,
and
so
I was
good.
like playing Picross as I did, and because my roommate wanted to watch the whole thing, I was like, I don't want to watch this show, but like, especially because it's really long. But I'm like, okay, fine. If you want to watch it, like, I'll find some other things to like occupy my hands, and I'll kind of watch it in the background, the same way that you do, Sharky.
Yay!
But I mean, for me, it's like, okay, Picross and stuff are like,
yeah.
mindless enough where I'm like, yeah, I can still pay attention to the audio.
Yeah.
And like look up here and there and kind of see what's going on. Where
Did
I
you
feel
at
like I
least enjoy
absorbed it, but I didn't have to like sit through it.
Did you enjoy it though?
It was fine.
Okay.
It puts into context, what was it? There was like...
There's a lot.
There was a like ultimate personality test thing that was going around a while back, and I had taken it shortly before watching. And it spans like all supposedly all fandoms. It spans several very large fandoms, more specifically. And it lets you filter by series. And my top two were Zuko and Azula. My roommate's just like, these two are diametrically opposed, though. What?
But somehow I'm not surprised.
It's me and the D&D quiz that put me in all four corners, but nowhere in the middle. Hey. It's fine. I'm a Gemini. I'm a walking contradiction. Is that not what Geminis are?
I don't know.
Blah,
I don't
blah,
know
blah,
anything about that stuff.
two-faced.
Agent of Chaos Satan.
Yeah.
I'm a Capricorn who doesn't know anything about that stuff. I said I'm a Capricorn who doesn't know anything about that stuff.
I mean, all you need to know about Gemini is it's the twins.
Yeah.
Which basically translates into dual personalities. I'm just like, the summary of Gemini is either that I have split personality or that I have ADHD. This is the general summary of Gemini.
I only pay attention to zodiac stuff when it's funny.
Yeah. Tumblr's great for that. When it's just like bullshit zodiac shit.
Yeah, I love whenever I remember you gave me like the full thing or something like that, and you're like, this is basically what each of the things mean.
Yeah.
And I'm like, some of this doesn't make sense.
I like zodiac stuff the way I like tarot, which is to say that I don't buy into it. Like, I don't actually believe in it. It's really hard for me to believe that every person born in like May, June-ish just has this like ADHD stereotype of a personality. That's ridiculous, right? What kind of soup each sign is? Yes, exactly. Tumblr zodiac stuff is like great. But like I like tarot, but I don't believe in it. Where it's just like I like seeing what the messages and stuff are as like this is a frame of reference because it helps get you out of your own head. Like, you pull a random card and it's supposed to represent your past, and in that way that brains do, it's going to try to find a connection. And that helps you reframe things and think about things in a different way. So I like Zodiac and tarot and stuff for that, but less so that I actually believe in it. But I like it as like a fun thing to learn about. It's fine. What you need to know about being a Gemini is apparently that I'm all the extremes. And that I am Zuko and Azula at the same time, I guess. Let me see. I should see if I can find that quiz again and then post it in the Discord and have everyone do it. I want to know.
Yeah. That would be hilarious.
And I should find that D&D alignment chart quiz again, too. I want to know everyone's
that was
for that.
an in-depth one, too.
That was very long.
It was very in-depth.
The, this, like, ultimate character quiz thing
It told
is
you
also
what
kind of
race
long,
you
but...
were, what your stats were, what your class was, what your alignment was. It was in-depth.
Yeah, so this one has an exhaustive, and then it also has like a random sampling of the quiz questions so that you don't have to take 120 questions. So let me put it in the Discord right now because I think it's fun and I think I would like to see what people get for fun. And then let me also find the D&D quiz.
Oh boy! Internet quizzes.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it was this one.
Recommended quick emoji. Recommended end emoji exhaustive.
Uh-huh. Okay, I put both quiz things. Internet quizzes are fun! I'm gonna take it again, actually. While we're sitting here not doing very much. Let me try the recommended while we go through this.
Am I heroic or villainous?
Probably heroic. You're Paladin Sharky.
true. I am Paladin Shark. You laugh, Sharky, but like, I remember sending a quiz to the Discord along with the what species of owl native to
Yes.
Canada?
Yes, and we took that quiz before we started streaming for that day. I remember that.
I don't remember that.
I do remember that. And I remember... I'm like, did everyone take the what sexuality quiz that I put in the Confused Ace Noises a while back? Because it was great. Am I creepy or disarming? Where's the option for both?
You're disarming.
Disarming?
Yeah. You're not creepy.
What percentage between creepy and disarming?
Why'd you forget my gifts, Father? Because Father has bad memory. I don't know what percentage, but you're definitely more on the disarming side.
Okay.
Human or animalistic?
I mean, in the normal animalistic sense, like connotation-wise, human.
I mean, yeah. Am I sarcastic?
Yes. Am I stinky or fresh?
I would assume fresh.
Here's the part where I am like, I don't actually know. Am I orderly or chaotic? I'm both extremes. It's like, where 50-50 feels wrong. But I'm both.
Am I a noob or a pro?
Pro gamer Sharky, go.
I'm not a pro gamer. Okay. You have to answer this. Am I lovable or punchable?
Punchable.
What percentage?
$42.58.
Ooh, that's very specific.
That's the chaotic side of me. I like random numbers.
Lovable!
I'm like, I have a question now, formal or intimate? And I'm like, well, I wouldn't call myself intimate, but I don't think I'm formal as the opposite.
Well, intimate can mean a lot of things, though.
Yeah.
Like...
It can. I'm curious where you would place me on juvenile mature. I'm gonna put my own answer, but I'd like to know.
Am I an overachiever or underachiever?
Under. Sorry.
I mean, that's fair. I'm not going to say you're wrong. I wouldn't say that I'm that much of an overachiever.
Like, basically, I think when you are a high performer, it's not because you have a spirit of overachiever. It's just because that's your normal. But you're not aiming to overachieve. A lot of times you would be very happy to just be passive.
Or why? Extrovert or introvert?
So you're going 100% introvert?
Yes! I was going to say guess what's 0, 100.
Where would I put myself on the nerd jock spectrum? Definitely on the nerd side, but like I do.
Yeah,
dance.
but you would be closer to the 50-50. You wouldn't be. I have my results. Ooh.
Ooh.
What are you?
Share. I want to know. Am I sarcastic or genuine? I'm genuinely sarcastic.
Yeah. I'm an idiot, so I pressed to do 120. Ooh, am I? Okay, I know this answer. I was going to say it out loud, but I know the answer.
I want to know what your take is on my sarcastic to genuine percentages.
I'd probably say 60-40.
Which side?
On sarcastic, duh.
Okay.
That I have not watched the piece of media my top character is from. Okay, well, say the character and top piece of media. I'm not judging.
I mean, put the results, but
Yeah,
it's
I'm
okay.
Not gonna judge.
And if we know what the piece of media is, then we'll help explain.
Oh, I think you will. Am I apprentice or master? Dexter Morgan.
Yes, it's hard for me to think of you as addressing someone as your student in the student
that's from the
sense, but
Dexter
you
show.
are
The serial killer.
you are Professor Sharky, so master, I guess. Like 60-40.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that's the.
Do you think I'm artistic or scientific?
Oh, that's hard for you.
I hate these dichotomies.
Yeah, that's hard for you.
Like I said, I'm always on the extremes where like 50-50 doesn't seem quite right. Because I'm pretty far on both.
Yeah, that's very hard for you. See, I know you as more the scientific side of things, but obviously, you're also an artist.
I do artsy things. I used to be
Yeah.
an art major,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
I
You
also
used to be an art
graduated with
major.
this like technical degree, and I like looking at things from a very scientific, logical standpoint. This is why I'm everything and nothing all at once.
I would
am the
probably
void.
say 56-44. Scientific.
56.
Yes.
Now who's being really precise? Angelic demonic.
I wonder. Well, so I had water or fire. Now, I was gonna say, am I water or fire? Then I'm like, I know the answer. I know what y'all are gonna say.
It's okay. I'm putting 97% demonic.
Oh, because the 3% is the archangel.
The 3% is the biblical angel terror. Poisonous or nurturing? Well, I'm not nurturing, so I guess we're going 100% poisonous.
I mean, your top character's not bad. Second top was Graham from Hannibal, so apparently I'm being assigned serial killer Jason. Wait, am I angelic or demonic?
$55 demonic.
55 demonic? That's not how I thought you would go.
What did you think I was gonna say?
I thought you were going to say 55% angelic.
No. Well, I mean, obviously this is biased, right?
Oh.
You piss me off for fun. So I'm not gonna call you angelic. But you don't do that to everyone. You do that to
No.
me.
Yeah, I do it to you.
So, you know, for me, it's like, well, to me, I'm gonna say 55 demonic. Other people may disagree.
What is this? Open a new experience or uncreative?
I guess that's just a weird, like, uncreative probably means like you like sticking to the same routines in that case.
But I'm both. I do.
Am I haunted or blissful? 100% haunted, let's go. Am I deranged or reasonable?
It's the exact same one I'm on right now.
Both? I think you're
What?
also 55% deranged. Maybe 60. Where do I
gonna
fall? I feel
I'm
like
gonna
I
go-
either get really deranged or really reasonable. This is where I'm always like, personality quizzes are hard because I get stuck on like, I'm the extremes.
Hold on. Am I epic or deep?
Wait, epic or deep?
The question is epic or deep?
Epic.
Epic?
You like grand adventures.
I mean, that's true.
You like charging in.
That's true.
So I'm gonna say epic.
Okay, now this is not fair. This is also rude.
Wait, I have 4 questions left. Where do you put me on deranged versus reasonable? Because this is another
65
like...
deranged.
Huh?
65 deranged.
65 deranged.
Yes. Again, biased. Masculine, feminine.
I don't know what you're gonna put, but I put myself a little over 75 masculine. What was that mask femme quiz we took forever ago that gave me like 80 something masculine?
Wasn't I like?
You were pretty far on the femme side.
It was really like decently
pretty
far
on
on
the feminine side.
Well, because like it was asking like the stereotypical masculine questions, which I know.
Yeah. Well, it was from like celebrityquizzes.com.
Yeah.
Oh god. Am I outlaw or sheriff? I feel like I have to be an outlaw.
Yeah, you.
ACAB. I believe in order, but not necessarily law. All right.
Utilitarian or decorative?
Hey, Magic. It's okay. I also got Dexter Morgan for number 1 this time. We're taking one of those mask femme quiz got right smack in the middle of the 4 quadrants. The thing for me with like masculine versus feminine is much like how I've been saying that I'm both of these options, but on the extremes is that the mask femme thing, like, because it's all the stereotypical, like, oh, I shy away from cursing. Like, yeah, personality-wise, it gave me like an 88 or something on masculine, but I really like presenting femme. Finger crossed, Sharky gets Dexter too. I think Sharky will not.
Wait, okay. Am I an outlaw or sheriff?
$52 sheriff.
Not that high.
Not high. Well, I can't imagine you as a law enforcer.
So one of them I got was Tattletale or ACAB. Not the actual ACAB, but like that was basically the spectrum of it. And I'm like, there's only one correct answer. Okay, am I creepy or disarming?
You're not creepy.
But what percentage?
$91. Mostly because I can only give you a 9 on creepy.
Sheltered, street smart. More sheltered. Arcane mainstream? What? What was your number 2, by the way?
I have to unlock my extended results.
How do you
Oh wait,
unlock
there's a skip survey.
Oh, okay.
Oh wait, no. Did it not? No. Oh wait, okay. Now it gave me the complete match list. Yeah, it was like locking it behind some kind of survey. This is hilarious. It turns out Dexter Morgan's my number 1 at 85%. Guess what my number 2 and 3 are?
Oh.
They are also 85%. Sherlock Holmes from Sherlock and Sherlock Holmes from Elementary. I guess I'm Sherlock?
I guess you're Dexter Sherlock.
At least in today's iteration of this quiz, because I feel like these are the kinds of quizzes that every day you're in a slightly different mood, you know? Then someone from How to Get Away with Murder, who I don't know who that is. They're links, I think. Who are you? Oh. That character. Annalise Keating. I've never watched it, but... Oh no, I have Walter White.
Oh, jeez, I'm sorry.
Wait, I have to check where they put me for Avatar this time. Oh, it's again! It's again! 75 Azula, 73 Zuko, 73 Toph. Very different characters. All very different characters.
Say that again? Say that one more time?
Azula 75, Zuko 73, Toph 73.
Okay, I have to ask this just because this is this stream chat. Am I protagonist or antagonist?
Pro.
What percentage?
Are we asking in the context of the stream or in general?
In general.
$78. Sorry, I know everyone loves Villain Sharky, but like...
In real life, no.
I like Villain Sharky for the, like, cognitive dissonance it causes.
Wait, haunted or blissful?
Yeah, I got that one. What are you putting?
I don't know.
I think you're too depressed to be blissful. Sorry. How much trauma do you have?
When do you want to start the list?
So we're putting you pretty high on haunted, yeah?
Feisty, gracious.
Wait, what other things should I filter by?
What
That
other
was
things are there?
Avatar.
I still have 4 questions left.
Or do you?
I did 121.
For Crazy Rich Asians, I have Eleanor and then Astrid. I don't know if anyone else here watched Crazy Rich Asians, but those are very different characters as well.
I think I watched it on a plane ride. I don't remember it, but like I watched it.
I mean, it's great.
Yay, fun escapism. Next question. A plague is sweeping across your country. What do you do? This is not
Yes. It's a very good quiz, but it's very long. I should take that one again, too. But, I'm glad this has just turned into, like, Lovingly Evil's providing background music while we take internet quizzes.
Wait, okay. I did not get Dexter.
Who'd you get?
Sean from Shaun of the Dead.
I don't know who that is.
How do I get the complete?
So if you scroll down past that graph,
Yeah.
then there should be a complete match list, and if you don't see a list, it should bug you to take a survey or something.
Oh, yes, it says start to unlock.
Yeah, so what I did was partway through the survey, there's actually on the left a button that says skip survey, and then I had to refresh. Ooh, I do have Beth Harmon from Queen's Gambit as my number 10 for overall.
Yeah, it's not letting me do that.
Even when you refreshed?
Yeah.
Alright. I'm like really entertained because...
Oh, wait, okay, I got it. The complete match. I haven't seen any of...
What do you have? Just read off the top 5.
I don't think any of these match.
To be fair, number 3 of Sherlock Holmes from Elementary is the only one I actually know.
First one, Sean from Shaun of the Dead. Second, Pete Hornberger from 30 Rock.
I don't know
3,
who that is.
Joel Barish from Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Never heard of it. 4, Eric Foreman from That 70s Show. 5, Stuart Bloom from Big Bang Theory. Wait, number 8, from Ratatouille. Alfredo Linguini?
I think he's the main guy.
Yeah!
Which,
Great.
yeah, he is. And yeah, you know, I feel like that's accurate. That's the most
Great.
accurate of these.
Great. Thinking it's to do with erasing memories? Cool. That's great. Oh wait, I can do it by series, right? Should I do Avatar?
Yeah, I want to know what the Avatar results are. You too, Magic, if you still have it up.
Or The Last Airbender.
What do you have?
Is number 1. Sokka number 2 and is tied for number 1.
Wait, what's number 1?
Aang.
Tied with Sokka?
Tied with Sokka at 53%.
Okay,
Next
they're not
one.
terribly high.
Zuko's number 4.
That's the angst in you.
Azula's 9 out of 10. I got Joel Barish 78.
Wait, I want to know. What are your results for Lilo and Stitch?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Because I have to say,
Joel
It only
Barish is
has-
Jim Carrey in that movie.
huh?
In Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, that's Jim Carrey's character.
Good job.
For Lilo and Stitch, my top Avatar stuff. So you scroll down a little bit, Melik, and there's a thing that basically says like, here, please take this survey. You said Lilo and Stitch?
Yes.
Who's yours?
I want to hear yours first, and then I'll tell you my top 3.
What the crap is my top 3?
Actually, I'd like you to guess what my top 3 are. I'll give you the
My t-
percentages.
My top 3 are hilarious.
Yeah?
Bleakley. Lilo. Jumba.
So I'll give you a hint. 2 of your top 3 are my bottom 2. I have 74%, 69%, and 60%. Guess which one's which?
I feel like your Jumba's gonna be the one that's up there.
Yep. That's number 1. 74.
Then I'm gonna say Stitch is one of them.
Which one?
Great.
Correct. You're doing great.
Bubbles.
Yep. But
I'm
you know
like-
the really funny thing as you were reading yours is Pleakley is my bottom and Lilo's my second bottom.
This is how we know
We
make
know
up
each
the
other
whole
too
thing.
well.
Yeah. What is another really good one?
Another fandom?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know who here has
I got
watched
Jumba as my
Westworld.
top, but I would like to think I'm a more ethical scientist. I haven't.
I would like to think that I'm more ethical than Jumba, but like, it's just that level of chaotic, maybe? Yeah, he's running around, he's causing chaos, but like, look how successful he is. He's super smart. I
don't
count
know
that
if
as a
this-
success.
I
I
don't know if this is a good thing. I clicked on Umbrella Academy.
Oh, what's your Umbrella Academy?
Vanya.
She's my number 2. What's
My
your 2?
number 2 is Ben.
Oh, he's my 3.
My number 3 is Klaus.
He's my 5, shockingly.
4
Who do you think my number one is?
Forrest Luther for me.
Who do you think my number one is? I'd love to hear your guess.
Diego.
Really?
Yeah.
You think so? Because that's what I got. But I don't think I'm like Diego.
I know you too well.
Wait, but what makes you say Diego?
I know, it was just a feeling. It was just that feeling.
God damn it.
I watched Westworld.
Yeah, you know me too well, apparently. I watched the first two seasons of Westworld. I definitely felt like season 2 was much more of a slog, but then I heard it gets good again. Wait, what did you get for Westworld, Magic?
I'm gonna choose it, but I don't know anything about it, just so I can tell you.
I will give you context if you need it.
Felix? Lutz? Lutz?
Oh, that's,
It's a person, he's wearing like an apron.
Oh, that's that guy.
Wearing an apron, part of it's red?
Yeah,
Like-
he's on cleanup crew. He's the Asian one. He was the one who was messing around because he wanted to be above cleanup crew. So he was messing around with one of the little console tablet things, trying to like learn how to use it so that he could try to move up in the world. And then accidentally ends up in a situation with Maeve, who's really clever and like that kind of down to earth, like, smart, who wakes up and she has these vague memories that come in dreams of a daughter her character used to have because they're AIs. And their bodies and minds and stuff just get repurposed to different roles throughout the theme park. And so she is like, where's my daughter? Where's my daughter? So she ends up threatening him and the other cute, like, cleanup crew guy into giving her, like, max intelligence and max this and that so that she's extremely smart. Sadly, Maeve is only 73 for me, which is tragic. But I have to go back because I would like to see with the extended version of the quiz. But I didn't want to do that on stream because that'll take too long.
Do you want to know who my top Toy Story is?
Oh no, my Westworld top character is not ideal. Who is it? Because mine's not ideal, but I don't hate it.
Do you want to know who my top Toy Story and Sailor Moon are?
Yeah?
Toy Story's Rex. So you know. That
Yeah.
kind of makes sense.
Rex, sharks. Yeah.
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 Sailor Moon is. Wait, let me go back to. It's Mercury.
Interesting. Mine was the Man in Black, who's certainly a character. Yeah, Man in Black is number 2 for me. I have as my number 1 Robert Ford.
Man in
Which,
Black
if you've
is
watched Westworld, that's not much better.
Man in Black is my second to last.
That's... You know, it's funny where we have the overlaps and where we have, like, no, we're complete opposites.
Yeah.
So Toy Story...
I chose Riverdale. My top was Jughead.
Congratulations. They robbed us.
Yeah, they did.
Do you want to guess who my number 1 for Toy Story is? It's only 65.
I don't know.
Should I give you the list over again in random order so that you know what the options are?
I know what the options are. I have it in front of me.
Yeah.
I just don't know who you would be.
Take a guess.
See, my head's going to Sid, and I don't think that's right.
It is not.
Yeah.
Also, hilariously, I went to Sailor Moon and I have the one guy, Tuxedo Mask. Which I think, if anything, if they had the outers as well as the inner planets...
I'm going to say Potato Head.
It is Potato Head.
Yeah. Potato Head's my number 2.
Ooh, wait. They added Parasite on here.
I still need to watch that. I still need to watch that.
Oh, this is tragic, but it's also really good.
Who did you get?
You haven't watched Parasite, right?
I need to watch it.
You just said you need to watch it.
Yeah.
So you'll meet her pretty early in the movie. She's the brother of the main character, or the sister of the main character. He's her brother. And she is a con artist, essentially. And she's really good at, like, lying and conning.
What's the name?
Kim Ki-jung.
What's the main character's name?
Kim Ki-woo.
Darn, that's my number 2.
He's my number 2 as well.
Your Top is my number 5.
Again, we're in very different positions for these.
I don't know how to pronounce the name. It's the other Kim Ki.
I think it's Kim Ki-taek.
Yeah.
It's the dad.
Okay. 72% Bruce Banner.
Oh, I need to check
Nice.
Marvel. That's right.
I don't see Marvel. Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah.
Bruce Banner, 67.
Bruce Banner is number 9 for me at 66.
Who's your number 1?
Take a guess.
I'll
give you credit if it's in the top 3.
What would be in your top 3?
It's interesting because today Loki fell.
What?
Loki used to be my number 1 on Marvel when I took this before. He fell a lot.
Okay, good, because I was going to say, I'm going to take what was going to be my second to last one, because that was a pretty good guess. I'm not going to choose anymore, because that's Loki.
Yeah, he used to be my number 1 when
Peggy.
I took this before. No, she's 10.
Wow.
Loki, actually, I think I've even had as my number 1.
Who's your number 1, 2, 3?
Take a guess. Again, this is the recommended of only 36 questions, not 120. So, with that as the caveat, right?
I don't know. Captain Marvel?
Captain Marvel's 8.
Yeah, then I don't know.
You're doing a great job guessing my middles. Okay, I'm going to start from number 3 and go up.
Yeah.
Number 3, 75%. Actually, tied for 3 and 4 are Tony Stark and Black Widow.
So Black Widow is number 13 for me, and Tony Stark's number 10.
So still decently down yours. Number 2, Gamora.
Number 7.
Number 1, Nick Fury.
Number 12.
See, there are the times when we have, like, the same number 2 or something, and then there are the times where I'm just, like, the opposite of you.
Yeah.
And I find it really funny.
Wait, my 1, 2, I'm Bruce Banner, Star-Lord, Hawkeye.
Congratulations, you are a very nice scientist guy and the white everyman.
Yeah.
My condolences on getting Chris Pratt. Wait, Good Place.
I just clicked on the Good Place, actually. Cheaty.
In the Good Place, I am again the devil. I'm Michael.
Number 5 for me.
Where's Eleanor?
3.
She tied with me for Cheaty for 2 and 3. They're both 61%.
Jason's 2.
Well, Loki is on there.
Yeah,
Kitty on lap, all is well in the apartment. I'm like, who's Joel Barish?
Joel Barish. Here's a synopsis. A bookish introvert who enters a 2-year relationship with person after their relationship ends. the other person erases Joel's memory, Joel from her memory, and he erases her from his mind in response. Yeah, it has to do with has a fight, they erase each other from their memory, stuff happens.
Aladdin only has 3 characters.
Aladdin's on here?
Yeah, it only has 3 characters.
I still need to watch Cowboy Bebop. Understand mine.
Oh?
I have Ed. Which I remember when I watched a few episodes with Art Friend, and Art Friend was like, "You'll like Ed."
Yeah, I didn't hear great things about the new one, but I liked what I saw of the original. So I haven't watched enough of Cowboy Bebop to know who this is, but I just want you to click on the names so that you know what the character looks like. My number 1 for Cowboy Bebop is Vicious.
Oh yeah, I know Vicious. I watched an episode with Vicious.
Okay. But just look at the picture and then, yep, that's me. That's a mood.
Yeah.
Let's see. Who else? What else should I click?
I mean, there's a lot of like.
Ooh. Oh, okay. Gone Girl only has 3 characters listed, so that's not as fun. I do need to go back and do the full quiz thing, because, I mean, obviously, more questions, more accurate, right?
Yeah.
Lion King, go.
I was Pumbaa.
He's my last at 35%.
What a shock.
What's your last? Is it my
Scar?
number 1? It's my number 1!
Mm-hmm. At 37%.
Mine was 69% Scar. Number 2 is Nala, which I will take.
Number 4 for me. I'm literally Pumbaa, Timon, Simba, Nala, Mufasa, Scar.
So the Hakuna Matata crew.
Yeah, I'm the Hakuna Matata crew. Lord of the Rings, I am literally Frodo. Why?
Let's see, what am I for Lord of the Rings? Gandalf.
Timon and Pumbaa tied at 51%.
Nice.
Great.
And then Little Women is on here. Go figure. I'm the debatably ace Joe.
Number 5 for me. Beth?
Beth is Beth is too sweet to be you.
Maybe I got Beth. I'm sorry.
Beth is very sweet but sickly, and she actually dies partway through. Sorry for spoilers of this, like, 100-year-old book. How old is Little Women, actually?
Okay, but the funniest thing, Pokemon has 5 choices.
Yeah?
I got Brock.
That's hilarious for what kind of person he is. Okay, Little Women is,
Old.
like 150 years old.
Who is he? I've never seen Pride and Prejudice. I've never seen Pride and Prejudice. So
Neither have
who
I.
this person is.
Pokemon I have. Oh, this is funny.
Who do you have?
Also, I wonder why they only have Jesse and not James.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
I have Jesse as my number 1.
Number 5 for me.
Well, Brock is my number 5 out of 5.
This is why we talk to each other, apparently. Only Pokemon
Which is funny because when we first started talking, you were excited about how much we had in common. No, not at all.
Yeah, the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon quiz is pretty good. It's pretty good.
Oh, hey, Riverdale, I also have Jughead.
mean, that's the opposite.
Even though he was robbed from us, I guess we still stand the ace icon.
Yeah.
He's an ace icon in our hearts, so it's fine.
Ain't that the truth?
Like, what other fandoms here do I recognize?
Wow. That's sad. I clicked on Sherlock.
Oh, right, I should
you
check what
seen
else from
Sherlock?
Elementary.
Have you seen Sherlock? The BBC
I haven't
one?
watched Sherlock. Also, Elementary's not even an option. I think they just have Sherlock from it. Elementary is not even an option on here.
Yeah, I don't even see that as an option, yeah.
But it is in my top 3 results, so I know that, like, Sherlock from Elementary is there.
I have... She's one of the, a person that Sherlock sometimes works with at the morgue. Molly, who's into Sherlock?
Is your number 1?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my number 5.
Sherlock is number 5.
Oh, so we've swapped 1 and 5 in this case.
Mycroft is 6.
Mycroft's 2 for me. 76%.
Watson's 2 for me.
That's my 3. Sherlock is 85%, and then Mycroft is 76, and everything else is like 50-ish or below.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't know what other ones are
let's
like.
see, what else? Black Swan. Wow. But
Black
Black Swan only has 3 characters here. Black Swan was a ballet movie.
The Aces have reclaimed Jughead! Woo!
Woohoo! My Pokemon personality quiz I need is the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon quiz.
It's a really good quiz. Okay, so I just switched back to video mode for the stream. Why does the doctor appear to be dismantling the robot's brain? Yes.
So I was saying about how we were going to get through 0 hours by the end of the stream. It's 2 hours in for us, and we've gotten through 0 hours. No, we've got through 1, because she was in a talk. Because he's upgrading her. And Sharky never read the line afterwards, I think, so we just ignored it. It's fine. It's quiz time. It's quizzing time.
Is there any other big name ones that I can choose? That you know?
That I know? There's Coco.
Oh yeah, I'm Hector.
I'm Mama Imelda, but only 59.
Wait, let me see. That's number 4 for me.
Hector is number 4 for me. See? We have a lot of swaps.
That just upgrading.
Oh, Finding Nemo.
I chose that. What's his name? I need to get back to it.
Marlin?
Wait, yes.
What was the percentage?
I have to find it again.
Because Marlin's also my top, but I have a suspicion our percentages may not be.
61.
So
61.
Oh, that's pretty close, but on different sides of him, I guess. I'm 59.
56 Dory, 52 Nemo.
The doctor's upgrade seems questionable. Knock him out. Well, we did choose the option of, like, leave her alone.
Okay, I'm not Ross from Friends, at least.
Oh. What's under Friends?
I'm not Ross.
Okay. Who are you?
Chandler.
Oh, the other name I hear all the time. I'm Monica, which I feel like is the name I hear least out of these. But I don't know anything about Friends.
Monica and Chandler get married.
No.
Yeah, I know. Monica's also my number 5. See, I don't know Game of Thrones. I don't know Gilmore Girls.
I like know a little bit of Gilmore Girls because one of our old coworkers that works at your current job used to put it on sometimes.
Yeah.
Which one of the boss guys thought that I was the one who put it on. I was like, nope.
Well, that's sad for How I Met Your Mother. Not like that show I should care about.
I checked Great Gatsby out of curiosity, and my top one is the only name that I don't know.
What name?
Jordan Baker.
Oh, it's been a while. Now I have to re-find it.
Well, she apparently has high ratings for city slicker, manicured, and rich, beautiful, stylish, privileged cosmopolitan.
Jordan Baker's my number 6.
Who's your number 1?
Nick Carraway.
Oh, 4. I mean, if I'm still going off of the theory of you as the white everyman,
Yeah.
sounds right, I guess. I mean, better than to be a murderer.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay. I don't remember anything about How to Get Away with Murder.
Frozen.
Oh, Frozen's on there?
Yeah, Frozen's in there.
Oh, of course. That's obvious. Mine's obvious.
If it's not Olaf, it's Kristoff.
You're right.
About which one? Olaf?
Kristoff.
Kristoff? Yeah.
Yeah. Olaf's number 2.
Kristoff's 4 and Olaf's 5. I mean, mine's also pretty decently obvious, I think.
I don't know. You could be the murderer. Are you a murderer?
Who do you think I am? I've already said my 4 and 5. You only have 3 options.
I choose not to answer.
I'm Elsa.
Yeah, I did actually figure that.
I'm like, I think that's obvious enough because I'm not straight out like just manipulative and cruel like Hans.
Yeah, you're not.
I'm manipulative and cruel, but also like try to be a good person. I don't know.
No, I hit Pirates of the Caribbean, and I'm like,
Oh, pirates. Who do you have?
Gibbs.
Oh, my number 6. I don't remember half these characters, but I kind of remember
Gibbs
this
is
one.
Gibbs is the second in command of the ship.
That's why I don't remember.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you want to take a guess? My
no,
number
who
1
do
and
you
number
have?
2 are tied.
Who do you have?
Do you want to
Just
take a
that.
guess?
No. I don't want to.
Barbossa and then Elizabeth Swann are tied for 1 and 2.
5 and 6.
Go figure. I'm kind of surprised because I would have expected Jack Sparrow to be higher. But again, I need to take this over again with the full questions.
Yeah. If I knew more about like TV shows and movies, maybe I could know more about what this is talking about. But I don't. Oh,
I'm just like in a horrible way pleased that I have gotten the same number 1 as our stream child.
Hannibal Lecter is my number 3 of the 3 from Silence of the Lambs at 35%. So, I am very much not a Hannibal. Thank you. Have a good day.
What was it? Silence of the Lambs?
Yeah, Silence of the Lambs.
I have Hannibal.
Like Monster, like Extreme Child. My number 1 and number 2 are tied
Yeah?
at 50%. But my number 1, it was still chosen. I don't know how they chose between the two. I'm the Tin Man from Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz is in here?
Yeah, Wizard of Oz is in here. And so is West Side Story, apparently.
For the Wizard of Oz, I have the Wizard of Oz, followed by the Wicked Witch of the West.
Number 5 and 6.
Yeah, figures. Tin Man's
the
3
Tin
for
Man?
me, but
Wait,
it's really funny because for Wizard of Oz is 67%.
yeah.
Wicked Witch of the West is 66%. And everyone else is in the 30s.
So I'm the Tin Man, then I'm the Cowardly Lion, then I'm the Scarecrow.
Scarecrow's
So
my
apparently-
bottom.
So apparently I don't have a brain, a heart, or whatever the Cowardly Lion asked for.
Bravery.
Yeah, I don't have that either, apparently.
Where's Dorothy for you? 4?
Yeah. At 54%.
Yeah, the entire main party of Wizard of Oz is 30%, or like in the 30s for me.
My lowest is Wicked Witch at 43%. I apparently am more Wicked Witch than you are any of them.
Yep.
Apparently, I don't know West Side Story. I'm Maria.
I don't know West Side Story very well, but my understanding is it's roughly Romeo and Juliet. It's like a modernized Romeo and Juliet.
Romeo and Juliet is also on here.
Is it?
He-
Where's Romeo and Juliet? I'm Mercutio.
My number 6,
Yeah, go figure.
Friar Lawrence.
The ones who's like, yeah, okay, you can fuck, but like, let me just marry you first.
Oh my gosh. Why are we friends?
Yeah. Because
Why?
together we make one whole streamer, as this proves.
I mean, yeah. Jane the Virgin?
Ooh, I like Jane the Virgin. Although I didn't like my result for Jane the Virgin.
Who'd you get?
Petra.
I got Jane.
That figures.
Does it?
Well, in the sense of protagonist.
Can it be the antagonist a little bit?
Hmm?
Can it be the antagonist a little bit?
So funnily enough, they have left off all the white people from Jane the Virgin. So there's also one other really major character in Jane the Virgin, but they just didn't include him.
I don't know anything about white men.
Jane the Virgin is kind of... They made an English series that was sort of poking fun at overdramatic Spanish telenovelas. So Jane is the main character, of course, who gets accidentally, like, artificially inseminated. I think it was that the guy whose sperm it was like the doctor's brother. I think that's right. And that's Raphael, who's supposed to be like hot rich guy, but who is like miserably tied to Petra, who's my number one.
Just
I
got a
don't like
text
her.
from my local game store about picking up my game tomorrow. It took me a sec to actually read it, so I was like, wait, no, that's tomorrow? What? Yeah, that comes out tomorrow.
Yeah.
Legends of Arceus comes out tomorrow.
Yeah.
Well, for Melik tomorrow.
Yeah. So are you gonna stream that on Friday?
Not on Friday.
Not on Friday. You don't want to stream it for us?
No, I want to be finishing
Undertale?
What?
Undertale?
Yeah, I want to be finishing Undertale first. I want to be finishing Undertale on Friday, and then yeah, I want to actually be doing that on Prof Sharky though.
Oh yeah.
And I want to finish Shining Pearl before I do it. Which tomorrow I want to, after therapy, I'm going to stream, and I still have to climb the mountain, get the legendary, beat the 8th gym, and then maybe, I don't think I'm going to get to Elite 4 tomorrow. Because I still have to get through Victory Road. So, might be on Saturday I finish Pokemon.
And the plague sweeping across your country question really hits different in 2022 than it did in 2019.
What?
For the D&D quiz. The one that I think
Oh, the
Magic was
plague
talking about with
one?
the escapism. A plague is sweeping across your country. What do you do? Really hits different in 2022 than it did in 2019 when we took this before.
See, I just remember that I took the quiz, and then you took the quiz for me.
Uh-huh.
And it was basically roughly the same results. Except
like
I was
that.
lawful good. Man, this...
Yes?
This quiz is taking shots at me. Number 3, would you portray a family member in advance your own to advance your own career? Would you betray a family member to advance your own career?
So you picked the same one I did, yes, without a twinge of guilt, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you respect the leaders of your family? I betray a family member for some sushi. Ain't that the truth?
Mood.
If your family had arranged your marriage to someone loathsome, would you go through with it, agree, hiding your reluctance, subtly work against it, or flee? Flee. You're estranged from a family member. On his deathbed, he seeks reconciliation. Refuse? Oh no, actually, wrong. It's not refuse. Discuss your estrangement openly and without rancor.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I would portray my family for a pat on the head and saying a good job. Doesn't even need to be food.
Wait, was this the full alignment test? This seems shorter
Okay.
than I remember.
Ooh, this does seem shorter than I remember. But this is the site. I do remember this.
No, I think it was
It's-
what kind of
D&D
D&D character are you, maybe?
Yeah, what D&D character are you?
Okay, I'm gonna finish this quiz first.
No, but but that's the one that I am.
Oh, is it?
Obviously, I would not betray my stream parents unless it was for like really, really good sushi.
Magic, I will buy you really, really good sushi if you do not betray us. I know how to play this game.
Sold. Magic says sold.
Yeah. See, I know how to play this.
Would you stand for office? No. So I hope you guys enjoyed the stream so far. I hope you had some
Oh, this time I got for this time, my alignment is much more on the chaotic side.
I am so far away. Wait.
But I am again where, like, true neutral is the least. Because I got lawful 5, neutral 5, chaotic 12,
Oh, true neutral.
good 11, neutral 4, evil 8. So, like, chaotic evil is 20 and chaotic good is 23. But chaotic neutral is only 16. Let's see. Oh, yes. It was what kind of D&D character would you be? That was the one. That's the one of 140 questions.
Oh, you'll have to link that one.
It's on the same site. It's on the left sidebar. What D&D and character am I?
Oh, okay. I wonder what one I'm on.
The one I linked was just alignment.
Okay, but I got 8 for law, neutral, and chaos. Amelik?
Wait, so you're
you okay?
evenly tied across it?
True neutral.
True neutral.
Melik is the true neutral.
Yeah, I guess so.
Wait, I'm at 30 out of the 36 questions. Yeah, chaotic neutral, that makes sense for you, Magic.
Yeah, that makes sense. I rate my persuasiveness. How
Rude stream father? I'm not rude.
can I make people do almost anything I want them to do? I have an easy time convincing others to see things my way. I convince others to do things my way some of the time, or I have a hard time convincing others to do what I want them to do. What's your opinion?
Sorry, I'm finishing.
I'm just a bad influence.
I don't know if that's right.
What'd you get?
You're not going to agree with this. Chaotic neutral.
I can see it.
Which I love playing chaotic neutral characters. I love doing that.
I mean, it's the most freeing, right?
Yeah.
True neutral is just true neutral, but chaotic neutral is like causing chaos whatever direction you want.
My law is 3.
Wow.
My good and neutral are both 10. So my neutral good, no. Here's the funny thing. My neutral good, my chaos, and my true neutral are tied at 20. My chaotic good and my chaotic neutral are 21. So I am both chaotic good and chaotic neutral.
Good to see everyone here is some form of chaotic. Or at worst, at best,
I had an email
neutral.
about the musical I booked to see this weekend has been postponed until August thanks to the
Oh
bid.
no, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
That sucks.
My lawful evil is literally 8. I am not lawful evil.
Yep. I think my true neutral was like 9.
Oh, right. 140 questions.
Mm-hmm.
Good lord.
All right, everyone take this one now. I'll link it too, just in case.
I have 2 in evil. Chuckles. I'm in danger.
Oh, Malik.
Let me read this line so we can
What
get
a
through
good
this.
person.
So we can go through the scene.
Yeah.
Maybe you should let her make her own decisions for how she wants to upgrade herself. How would you like it if someone were poking inside your head and changing things?
Ugh. Ah, as if anyone would be capable of comprehending the complexity of my extraordinary mind. Anyway, why don't you mind your own business?
Cupcake.
Nova is my property and my wife. I mean, wife. Aren't you, Cookie?
Cookie?
Cookie.
Okay. Oh, quiz tangent over? We should really get through the scene.
Uh-huh.
It's been...
He
it's
kisses
been
her
2.5
inert
hours.
cheek. It's been an hour where we've just been sitting here.
Yeah, it's 2.5 hours. I do need to get to bed.
And I need to make dinner.
No.
Or I need to
here's
heat
what
up
we
dinner.
Here's what we should do on Friday. We should do a very late stream. Like, it should go on for a while. Where the first half of it is people picking my answers for so what kind of D&D character are you?
Great.
Fully joking.
No,
Fully
we'll
joking.
have it for both of us. It'll just be
And then-
a just chatting stream. And we'll just go through these.
Poor Undertale.
Look, Undertale's not going anywhere.
Oh, but we're so close to the end of the game.
Yeah.
We're
Undertale's
like
not going anywhere.
right
It's fine.
there.
It's fine. If you want one for yourself, you can buy one like anyone else once we roll out the full production line. She's just a prototype anyway. At least she should be able to properly mop a kitchen without blowing anything up by the time I'm finished installing this upgrade. There. The doctor replaces Nova's head casing and screws it back on. You can thank me later when you purchase your own. Alright, time to see if she's good for anything. Would you mind pressing her power switch? It's under her chin. You gently trace a line under Nova's chin with your fingertips until you feel a small button. When you push it, her pink eyes light up very close to yours. They cross cutely to look at what you're doing.
Sorry, I was just turning you on.
You pull your hand away.
Oops.
Oops, that's not right. I must have gotten her language wires crossed. scientist grabs Nova's head and shakes it with a rattling sound.
$49, $27, $60.
I think Nova's language wires are still crossed.
Ugh, cursed machine.
The doctor aggressively mashes a series of buttons on Nova's back. Suddenly, her hand darts back and grabs his arm. His eyes go wide, and he struggles to pull it free.
Doctor!
Ooh, that's nice. So the thing that you convinced me to order yesterday.
Yeah?
Shipped. It's supposed to come apparently Friday, earlier than scheduled.
Alright, so it's gonna be Friday, quiz tangent, and you playing.
Well, I can't play. I wouldn't play that.
Oh.
DMCA.
Oh, right. Yeah. I guess so.
That's a DMCA. Like, I could do that, like, over Discord with people.
Alright,
like,
we'll have to
chat-
schedule a Discord one.
Like, chatting, like, in general chat and stuff. But, like, I would not be doing that over Twitch.
Yeah, that's
Just because
fair.
of the DMCA nightmare.
Well, it would we would just remove that VOD.
For everyone, basically, I ordered a Rock Band guitar, so that I could plug it into my computer, specifically, and play. Because I loved Guitar Hero and Rock Band, and every once in a while I have an itch to play a bunch of the songs, and
I accidentally got you into a rhythm game like 3 days ago.
Yeah. And it made me want to play, and I've been playing on the keyboard, and my hand literally hurts playing on the keyboard, and I can only do up to medium, which pisses me off because I'm 100%ing the songs. I want to play on expert again.
Uh-huh.
I like playing on expert, I'm sorry.
That's fine.
Oh, doctor, thank you, I'm feeling quite well now.
Nova?
Yes, doctor?
You can let go of my arm now.
Of course.
She releases it, and he rubs his wrist tenderly where she had been clutching it. He peers closely into her eyes.
Did I damage your language circuits? Is your logic engine still running? Nova, recite a poem for us.
Nova's eyes flicker rapidly as she appears to be thinking.
Okay.
All right, now we
We
can
should
save.
end.
Now we can save. 1 hour into the day.
No, 2 hours.
Huh?
2 hours.
1 hour into the day.
Oh, that didn't do time.
It did not.
Poop. Poop.
Well, I already saved actually, so. Yep.
Yeah.
As I said. 1 hour into the day.
So what? Friday we're gonna ask chat for answers for this quiz, and then whatever.
Yeah, we'll go through the quiz for each of us. All 140 questions, see where that brings us.
Yeah.
We could also do the extended version of the other one with chat.
See, I already did that.
Oh, did you go through that?
I did the extended version.
Well, I guess I'll just go through the extended version again anyway. I might still wait for with chat.
Yeah,
I think that's fun.
that's
We'll
fair.
just have just chatting quiz time.
Okay.
And we'll play music or something. Yeah.
While you're doing that, I'll just bring up and just start playing songs and be like, and trying not to sing along.
You're supposed to also participate.
Well, once I'm done my quiz.
Well, either way, because chat's gonna have a delay.
That's true. That's true.
So, we have to fill the silence while we wait for chat answers.
I'm joking. I'm fully joking.
We'll discuss which ones we think you're gonna get, or that I'm gonna get, or something. I mean, I think we can give input towards each other's as well. Just,
Oh yeah, definitely. Anyway, thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all
Thanks
for
for
coming.
hanging out. Have a good
Sorry
day
we didn't
/
do
night.
We tangented so hard.
I think they had fun, though.
And we'll see you maybe Friday.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'll see you tomorrow.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.